Hello everyone, my name is Mitz, and here we are back at Higurashi When They Cry. So, as a little fun fact, I found out and kept repeatedly forgetting to keep bringing it up every time starting these episodes out, is that unless I read things wrong or people are lying to me, then I've been seeing that Reina Ryugo's actual birthday from the game is actually on July 28th, which I find slightly hilarious because the episode where we technically learned that Rina's cheating on her dad and like literally gold digging him. I recorded that literally on that day, so wow, we happy birthday, Reina. But we don't need to worry about it anymore because both Tepe and Rina are completely ducking dead. Oh boy. And actually just thinking about the way of how they died, it actually I kind of forgot about it, but it slipped on my head that yeah, this can't be a parallel to the third chapter. I haven't even went back to the third chapter to read anything from that just yet, but I remember immediately the way that how that Rina died actually was consistent to those torture devices with the fingers on that board in either the underground or the Richest Storehouse by the festival grounds. And since technically, Reina only killed her with a lead pipe and nothing else, that means either this story is really just going to be to answer some questions about the third installment, like in a roundabout way, just nothing about what actually happened in that scenario, or literally actually connects into the first installment and actually might, if Oishi actually already suspicious of literally all of them. It also makes sense why I'm for him to tell Keiichi keep an eye on Reina if he's suspicious of her. It all makes quite a lot of sense. Plus, thinking about it, that tip with him Rika drinking and all that, and about some like annoying person came in and like started nagging her about it. I thought it was Sadako at first, but now I'm just like, since they did a question mark whole thing, why would they do that for someone who like for Sadako like who lives there anyway? So it must be someone new, and they've been nagging like kids shouldn't be drinking alcohol and stuff like that. So I cannot begin to figure out who that could possibly be. But okay then. So the only thing I could think of is they had to like actually close up Reina's meetup with Kasai, or the very least touch upon oh, don't worry, everything is completely utterly fine. It had been very hot for the past few days, and the corpses went rotten quickly. Any housewife knows how fast fresh meat can go bad. Wow, cooking can come quite in handy in the most weirdest of opportune times. I know it too. That's why the first thing I did was dismember the corpses. Yeah, okay, that probably like sinks it further than this is not a one-to-one parallel to the third chapter. There's only one reason why I need to dismember them. Only one. I had to reduce them to a portable size in order to carry them to a place where they'll never be found. When men see the word dismembered corpses, they'll probably feel disgusted because they don't cook. Like, I need to learn more recipes, but I'm pretty sure I know how to fucking cook. I just don't know, like, I can't do the whole butcher shop stuff, though. I can't cut through solid meat and bone. I'm sorry about that, Reina. I'm sorry I'm not a great cook to do that in some capacity. I'm sorry I can't do that. But housewives are used to taking the guts out of fish, and they sometimes even see living maggots. Wouldn't that just mean the fish is bad then if you see maggots or mold growing in any kind of food? Because by that point for example the mold, if you see any mold growing on the outside of it, it means the mold has already spread to the inside of it, and you should throw the entire thing out already completely. There's no saving it. There's no saving it. They take maggots with the food and eat or even cook it with the maggots still on. Oh wow, extra protein. The heat will kill them after all. Women don't tell men what they do in the kitchen because men wouldn't eat the food if they knew. Maybe some of them can be very metal when they hear about it, like, oh my gosh, Mom, you cooked maggots in there? Oh, it's so sick. Gulp. Gulp. It didn't really bother me much to dismember them. I was released from all my problems by killing them. I mean, cleaning up the mess was nothing to me because I got freedom and regained my happiness at the same time. I remember the corpses during carpenter's tools like a saw and hatchet. You know, I should just realizing it, now that you're equating it to goddamn food preparing, you're almost making it sound like you're gonna go prepare and eat them and cannibalize them, which I'm, okay then. Alright then, that's a whole new definition of crazy. This is not like survival of the fittest thing where the whole world's a goddamn wasteland, there's no more food or anything, and people are telling you succumb to cannibalism in order to survive. This is not that. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. I'm wearing a black sweatsuit I bought for today because I thought it might get stained with blood. Bloodstains don't show in black fabric. Oh yeah, I can also confirm. I can confirm. Okay, and I can just throw it away after it's done. I brought a plastic sheet I found in the dump because I thought the blood might spread otherwise. If I did the work in the sheet, I could just burn it after it's done. In the end, dismembering human bodies is no different from preparing food on a chopping board. Again with these food metaphors. If you know how to gut a fish and get rid of their bones, then probably stands a reason you could do the same thing here. And if it's a weekend day, then you can do all this without any kind of thought to it. And actually, since unless like the police trying to figure out where Rena actually, like who's Rita dating, your dad and all that. But the sound of it, only rumors have since gone around that Rena's like actually found a new I guess target, but nothing else. And since they don't, and from the sound of it, they only live in Okinawa. The police will probably be having a long time searching for them, honestly. So you technically have a time frame to do so, honestly. You have a time frame to do so, Reina. Take any second you can. Take any second you can. Even microscope second. Microsecond. I was very tired from chopping apart 2 adult bodies. I mean, it's not like chopping wood or anything like that. There's like muscle, sinew, and tissue you cut through, and bone, unless you're going to cut around that, so I'm going to have fun. But I didn't have a problem doing it. I cut off their arms, legs, and heads, dividing each body into 6 pieces. Definitely not going to remind us of something else. I heard before that blades get really easy ruined by fat when you cut apart a corpse, so I brought many kinds of tools. And I was right. I didn't have to go back and forth between here and my house again, the tool in the middle of work. A long time ago, the construction manager was murdered and his body was dismembered here during the dam conflict. Nah, don't worry about that. That's not what happened. His body wasn't dismembered like that. No, you're just speaking crazy talk. Nothing like that's ever happened before in this game franchise. Stop lying to yourself, Reina. Oh, good gosh. He was cut into 6 pieces in the same way. Well, I had 2 bodies, so there was double that, though. Yes, get the numbers right. There's 12, and 12 is the magic number. I remember the main suspect was still in the loose, and the victim's arm he hit hadn't been found yet. I wonder where he hid it. And my knee mixed up because all this cooking metaphor is in my stomach. And then he died, too, quickly. I'd like to ask him, I smiled wryly. From one murder to another, tell me your tips and secrets. Oh yeah, that's actually good. Write that down. Unlike the arms, legs, and heads, the torsos were difficult to take care of. I thought about cutting them in smaller pieces, but I decided against it because I thought it'd be troublesome to clean up the guts. I put each piece in a black trash bag and sprayed on a lot of deodorant for it. I wasn't sure if that was going to help the smell, though. It helped mask it a bit, anyway. Many bugs flew around me while I was dismembering the corpses. After I finished putting all the pieces into each bag, the bugs were still flying around, but that was just because they could smell the blood. That just means I'm, just spraying more deodorant. And now my next thought is blood deodorant exists, which that sounds completely, why would you ever want to smell like blood? But also, was anyone actually thinking of like, I could totally imagine that being like a prank perfume, honestly, to use. So does that mean there has to be something like that existing, right? There has to be now. After I cleaned everything up, they were all gone. Man, the flies knew they wouldn't be able to get anything good to eat today. It's been a while since I've actually seen this background shot, honestly. I think I only remember seeing in the first installment. Now all I need to do is get rid of these 12 black bags. Burn them would be the easiest, but I don't think I can burn them to ashes without using a cremator. The best way is to bury them somewhere. Other than the torsos, every piece is small enough to fit in my backpack. I could easily carry them without being noticed. I could throw them into the river running down through the damn construction site. If I did that, somebody would find them for sure. I've seen in the news several times before that a bag with a body part in it was found beside a river. Every time I thought about something like that, I always thought the murder was stupid. Yeah, you're supposed to do it this way. Oh my good gosh. Do you want people to find out what you did and create a new beginning? I thought about dumping them into Onigafuchi Swamp, but rotten meat floats. I thought about weighing the bags, but there's no guarantee they stay down. Well, you didn't do Keiichi's advice of carrying the whole body towards the swamp. Although that does make sense, so, yeah. So it left me one choice but to bury them. There are many unexplored mountains at the end of the abandoned districts around Higurashi and Takasudo. It's probably best to bury them somewhere in the mountains. It's a field trip. And while it would be safe to bury them here in the garbage dump, too, it's not perfectly safe. And so I'm going to bury all these bags somewhere deep inside a mountain in order to completely erase the two of them. So, are you planning to take a couple bags and carry them all the way to the abandoned mountains, then bury them right there immediately, then pat it down and then come back? Or are you literally just planning to go back and forth with all the body parts and bury them all in succinct together? Because but there's a possibility of it's abandoned. Maybe some random person's walking around. You better hide the trash bags really nicely if you're going back and forth between them. My joints hurt because since I've been using muscles I don't normally use. Ah, yes, this car. The vehicle. Well, it's on low in gas, we can't use it, but still. I cleaned the mess very carefully and got to my hideout. While still wearing the sweatsuit, I laid down the mattress. I washed my hands carefully, but there was still dirt and blood under my nails. Yeah. I should take a shower later and wash it off completely. Dig into your scalp with it, honestly. When I say things like disposing of corpses, it's not like the greatest evil of the century. It depends what you're using it for. But that's only true if I get caught. Yes, you got the motto right. It's only illegal if you get caught. There you go. She got it. She got, ladies and gentlemen. She got the motto. She got the slogan. Applaud her. What I did isn't a crime as long as I don't get caught. Plus, I didn't do this because I wanted to commit a crime, actually. I mean, yeah, technically speaking. I didn't do anything wrong. I did this to protect my father's life and mine. People might speak ill of me, but I don't care about them. In the end, I don't think anybody can really just pass judge on my sins. It's gonna be a whole thing if someone does find out, and from what you did, they'll just assume you actually did murder in cold blood. But yeah, there's a whole thing. That just goes to misunderstanding parts. So yeah, sins aren't really something to pass judgment on. There's something to confess and to atone for. In other words, nobody can measure the weight of a sin other than the person who committed the crime. Just pointing at someone to say you committed the worst heinous crime imaginable, you sinner. But yeah, honestly, yeah, literally, the whole sin thing. That's what everyone it's all being pointed to is how much it nags in your brain, whether you actually enjoy doing it in some way, or or you feel guilty for some way. Was it because you did the act itself, or you feel bad about what the sin was about? If you kill someone, do you feel bad that you killed a person? Or do you not feel guilty because the person kind of deserved it? There's those whole two things. And people, interpret it differently. The guilt and all that. Do I regret what I did? Do I feel sorry? No. I don't think I did anything wrong. I truly believe there was no better way than killing them. I could definitely, see the first part, too, of him, it was self-defense, honestly, there, too. So, there's justification there. So... I'm sure it was the right thing because my life had already started to change since the night I killed them. The police are on to me. A few days earlier, I just came home after killing Teppei. My father's cleaned the room Teppei had thrashed earlier. His eyes were swollen. He'd been crying. Reina, where have you been? I was warding off the demon away. I was talking with him. I said, Reina said will never come to our house again. So please leave us alone. Therefore, he'll never come back. I don't think he'll stay away from us that easily. You should watch out for him for a while, too. It's hard to explain to him why Teppei would never come back. It's more like you should pretend, honestly, by this point that I'm just all that. Unless you're... Because I don't think, from you growing up with your dad, I'm pretty sure he knows you're not naive. Or at least not anymore. So, pretend that you don't really know to just nut along with it, okay? You know for sure, but just the fact you're confident in that answer means some people might know what's up then, so pretend to know nothing. Pretend to know nothing. Become a true liar and actor, okay? I can't tell him he shouldn't worry because I killed him. I grabbed ice cubes in the freezer, put them in a plastic bag and handed to my father. Here you go, Dad. Your cheeks are swollen. He must have only noticed it just then. Oh, thank you. I mean, don't worry about cleaning the mess, I'll do it. I'll get the vacuum cleaner. Reina? He called out to me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. They make their living by deceiving people. You were just one of their targets. Reina, did you know who they were? Yes, I found out recently. I didn't tell you because I thought you wouldn't believe me. I'm sorry. He looked down. He told me about how he wanted to get remarried. I told him that they were bad people and that he scammed others with Badger games. But he didn't listen to me. So I was right in saying that he wouldn't have believed me at all. She took advantage of your pain. I'm a very bad father. Then he started talking about how he met Rena as a trying to absolve his guilt. It was when he was suffering the most, and he needed to drink away his sorrow. At a bar he happened to go to, Rena's son was the one who came to his table. It was her job to be a good listener when her customers talked. Yeah, the hostess job, honestly. I didn't actually get the, so it was just, I guess, buy a friend for a few hours type deal. Like, when I first heard hostess in that card and all that. And I had the full job description in my brain, but, it was exactly close to what I was thinking of, in the sounding files, Sunfish Pocket. Makes sense. Rena must really have been a great listener and offered words of comfort when he talked about the divorce. If he was emotionally stable, he could have taken as a kindness that she was only offering at the time. But he was so desperate they took it the wrong way. To that, the tragedy was inevitable. He wanted to believe that it was destiny, and he glamorized everything about her. It would be easy to laugh at him and say he was just dreaming. But I don't blame him because being weak is also part of being human. Well, in some ways, anyway. He had plenty of opportunities to grow suspicious of her questionable spending habits. My father just read even that behavior as an attempt to cheer him up. He bought everything she asked him to, and Rena had lended her catch. He shouldn't have brought his lover to the house where his daughter lived. But he was crazy about her and didn't even think about it. I'd forgotten I was a father first. What was I thinking? He started crying. I held his shoulders gently. It's okay. You realize in the end, my father no matter what. You're the only family I have. He couldn't stop moaning. We held each other and cried together. Next day, towards recovery. The next day, my father got up early in the morning. He was already cooking breakfast when I got up. He told me, your father can get his head together from today onward, okay? Oh, I don't believe that. Dad, you should have used salad oil before you cooked them sunny side up. Oh, it's been a long time since I cooked. He brought out the burning eggs in the pan with a spatula and added salad oil to it. Just the way, how I first read that, honestly, upside-down salad for the oil. But it was too late. And that just made it even bigger mess. Okay, look. Here's the thing. I don't know about burnt eggs, but, when our family, decided to, burn bacon and try that before, now, honestly, our whole, whole thing is just, eating burnt bacon, honestly. So, there's some good burnt foods and all that, which tastes better than, normal, well-cooked stuff. Try burnt bacon. It's honestly great. It's really crispy. It's really great, okay? Now just, every time we just remember now just almost every time, anyone makes bacon, just, we almost get a tiny bit disappointed when, the bacon is cooked perfectly. Just aw, I want it to be goddamn cinders and ashes. I didn't say anything because I wanted to eat his eggs. I went to the table quietly. He put the burnt eggs in a plate and brought them over to me. It looked like he tried to salvage them by adding cheese, but it didn't really work. Still, it smelled good and crispy. It actually stimulated my appetite. Thick cut toast popped out of the toaster. I made coffee with extra milk and sugar because my father liked it sweet. We put everything on the table. I mean, it looked terrible, like a cooking class from elementary school, but to me, it was precious. Because my father tried very hard to make it, wearing the apron. Great. It smells good. I hope it tastes as good as it smells. It might be better that you do the cooking. I feel bad making you eat this, or you can learn. I'll take care of cooking when you take care of getting a job. It had been taboo to talk about work in our house. He hadn't worked since the divorce. It wasn't only because of the divorce, though. He just didn't have to work because the settlement my mother gave him was so huge. Plus, I let him be lazy because I felt guilty about the divorce. But my father cleared his wrongdoing by showing repentance to me. I also atoned for my sin, not doing anything about my mother, by doing what I did the previous night. Now, we are free of sin. I'm gonna try to find a job. I'm thinking about going to the employment center agency today. Yeah, that's a great idea. It's not money that he wanted. You just need a normal lifestyle now. I'm old and not very strong. I'm a bit worried if I can find a job at all. What kind of job are you looking for? I prefer a desk job, but I don't think a lot of companies would offer one to an old man like me. I can ask my friend. Michino's the daughter of a big landowner in Hinamizawa, so she might be able to find you something. No, it's okay. I'll do it myself. I have to man up, you know? I don't remember the last time we enjoyed a breakfast like this. I don't even remember the last time we had breakfast together. The first time in a long time, the morning light felt refreshing. I wanted to keep enjoying life like this, but unfortunately, I had to go to school. I told him that I skipped school the day and that I wanted him to take me somewhere fun. I tried to be a good father and said that I had to go to school. Well, I had to go now. Okay, have a good day at school. He followed me to the front door. Oh, you cut up all the bodies after one whole day. Okay, you just skip one school just to handle your other duties, apparently. That's funny. He followed me to the front door. I was a bit embarrassed for some reason. He talked to me while I was tying my shoes. He followed me here not because he wanted to see me up, but because he wanted to tell me something. I've been sad ever since your mother divorced me. But I realized that I shouldn't be sad because I have you, Reina. I didn't have to feel sad at all. Dad, that's what being a family is about. Yes, you're right. Again, I'm not a good father because I had to learn something that's simple and important from my own daughter. Well, it's not that. I guess it's not that bad. It's just reminders, honestly, like that. Yeah. There's a few times where I completely forgot just something simple, which I then get reminded of and then get reminded again that, fucking god, I had to get reminded of that once again, honestly. It was a whole thing and just the phrase, fucking I need reminders for almost every little thing, like, running through my head for a while. Well, I have to go now. Keiichi-kun is waiting for me. Have a good day. Oh, Reina. I'm gonna cook dinner tonight, okay? I'll do the grocery shopping on the way back from the employment service agency. Look forward to it. I promise I won't fail like I did just now. Okay, what's your best dish, honestly? Okay. I'm looking forward to it. See you tonight. I left the house. My father saw me off, still in the apron. It was the first step of our new life. I finally regained it. I finally regained everything we lost after we left Hinamizawa. My mother wasn't around. I didn't feel sad because I had my father. The cries of cicadas sounded as if they were celebrating my new life. The sunshine was bright, and the wind was sending up a nice breeze. The only thing that wasn't nice was the ticking clock? I was late because I spent too much time talking to my father. Again, time is never on your side. It is never on your side. Ah, don't to your skull. Keiichi-kun might already be gone, but I don't think he'll be waiting for me that long. But he was there anyway. Look, continue the goddamn routine, apparently. Hey, good morning. Good morning. Sorry I'm late. It's okay. Age should make you wait. So it's okay that I wait once in a while too, right? We're really gonna be late. We should walk fast, I think. Sprint. Yeah. Let's walk fast. We might have to run at the end. Micha might already be gone. She's waiting for sure. We're friends. We never leave each other behind, right? Unless you take way too long. Anyway, did something good happen this morning? What? Why do you ask that? Well, you look very happy for some reason. Just thought maybe something good happened to you. The good mood I was in must have been too obvious for Keiichi-kun to ignore. I had not only my family, but my friends too. I felt something warm spreading in my heart. Well, I'll tell you what happened this morning. My father made breakfast, but... What, isn't that the right way to cook eggs? You use salad oil for making salads, don't you? What? No. I had to tell everyone you just said that. What did you say? Fucking salad oil for eggs? Everyone knows you use salad oil for fucking salads and nothing else. If you use it for anything else, then you are a degenerate. Those rude remarks are unforgivable. Fine, bring it. If you're saying that, then you're willing and ready to throw it down, aren't you? Hey, what's going on? Sadako, Keiichi, I wanted you to place an outside bet in our company to me today. It'd be fun. Michan, what's an outside bet? What is it? Gambling! An outside bet means what it says. That Sadako and I would place a bet on each other outside the game. The one who played worse than the other has to suffer an extra punishment besides the normal one. That means I get to see one of you suffer no matter who loses today. Nice. So what do you say, Sadako? That sounds like a wonderful idea to me. Keiichi-san will take a punishment for being the lowest ranked in the game and another punishment for losing to me. Ah, how wonderful. Pumps chest. Great, I like your spirit, Sadako. Alright, let's play today's game with our outside bet. It's more fun to think about punishments than to think about the game itself. It sure is. Can't wait to see how miserable Sadako's gonna look if she takes her punishment. Keep dreaming, Keiichi-san! Trip. Okay, never mind. Ah, take that, stop it! Ah! Stop fighting, you two. The game hasn't even started yet. Chi-sensei opened the door and came in. Take your seats, everyone. Let's start homeroom. Then you can all go home. Everybody head to their seats. Michan? What? I'm sorry to ruin the mood, but... I killed a man. I had to go home to school. I had things to do again today. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry that you had to go. Are you busy with housework or something? Yep. Oh, but this old man hasn't already stopped you when it comes to housework then. I don't do housework myself. Our housekeepers do. You should help them sometimes. Be good training for a married life. Or just when you're by yourself anyway like that. Not even just that. Don't worry about that. I already have the kind of skill, you know, to be a good wife. Michan looks like the kind of girl who tries to stay away from chores as much as possible, but she can't actually do everything. That's just who she is. She went through hard times to learn those things, but she acts like she learned them without any struggle. That's also who she is. I like that about her. What? Are you going home, Reina? You won't see Keiichi-san go to the teacher's office wearing an embarrassing uniform. Ah, what a shame. It's gonna be fun. Pity you had to miss it. Yeah, I'm sorry. You went home right after school for housework yesterday, too. Did something happen? Yeah, kind of. Might take me a few more days, actually. Well, then I guess you can't join us for a while then, huh? Maybe. I'll try to finish as soon as I can, though. Can we help out with the thing you had to do? Maybe. You're like family, apparently, so you want to help me bury dead bodies? The ultimate test of friendship strength, honestly. If it's something like carrying out old furniture, let me know. I can help with that. Are you redecorating your house? This old man can bring lots of help for that. Oh, I have an idea. We can make a game of helping her out with her housework. At this rate, the person doesn't end up helping her will be the winner. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate it. Well, it seems like there's nothing we can do. Therefore, I announce Reina Ryugu's withdrawal from the front lines as of today. I order you to take a rest till you finish doing your housework and return to the front lines as soon as you gain your strength. Well, there are many games for 4. Oh, can you play Mahjong, Kei-chan? No. Yeah. My dad sometimes forces me to play Mahjong with him and his friends from work. At a Mahjong parlor? Oh, of course we're good at Mahjong as well. After that, they fooled around and made a lot of noise, just like they always did. I looked at them and reminded myself that I always have a place to return to. I left the classroom with a smile. I was going to Yaguchi on my bicycle. I had to find a place to bury the bags of the body parts. Hopefully I could finish burying all of them today before it gets dark. I thought everything would be over and done with. Okay, we're back. Okay, so we're swapping back to Keiichi now. Well, that's definitely the thing so far. I'm either first Keiichi or first Reina's, then going back to the other. Okay. I don't like that the back of the tiles are made of bamboo. I'm pretty sure they're not. I'm pretty sure it's just a picture, okay? They're not made of that. Unless they are, that I don't know anything about that. Don't mind me. You guys haven't marked them, have you? I wouldn't be too sure about that, Kei-chan. Keiichi-san, you seem traumatized by the experience you had with our card game. This feels like almost reminiscent of, like, I guess, almost a parallel to the first installment, actually. Well, I think there are some scratches on them. They're cheap ones, you know. It's more fun when there's an element of doubt, don't you think? Me, how many reds do you want to use? 6? Rika-chan sounded professional, and it scared me. Oh well. I should start by checking the tiles. Playing Mahjong with my family is different from playing as a club activity. I had to be cautious now. It's possible that one tile's missing, and there's one extra particular tile in here. Or there's like 10 of one singular tile, and that makes it even goddamn more funny. We don't do things like that. Still, that's interesting. I mean, think about that. Let's see, then. No, here's, like, literally, since you had that opportunity, look, the way how to go, spread more doubt later on to future games, when you have the opportunity, figure out every single board game that's in the goddamn locker, then either find a way to buy another copy in the toy store, then immediately, for no particular reason, when everyone is leaving the schoolroom, then sneak back into the school, not to call someone to lure them to a false death trap, but to literally mess with the goddamn pieces and cards, just like Keiichi mentioned. Okay? Okay? Let's put them all face on the table and check them before we start the game. Come on. Everybody put the tiles face up. One dragon is missing. One low pen and one low so are missing too. Oh, and one low one is missing also. What's going on? There's so many missing tiles. Someone's been eating them all. Oh! I remember. Hold on a second. Oh my god, the other Mahjong piece in the other goddamn board games, actually thinking about it. God damn it. Mion hit the palm of her hand with her fist, moved her chair aside, and stuck her finger into a gap in the floor, but... You should pull a tile out of there. There you go. This is the dragon. Well, you remember where the dragon was. I don't remember where I put the other 3. Wait, Mion, why are there so many tiles in the classroom? Because the best way to win is to cheat. Yeah. Well, you know. She must have hidden the 3 tiles somewhere in the classroom and forgot where. For cheating purposes, yeah. We couldn't play Mahjong with 3 tiles missing. Or you could, technically speaking. I suggested playing another game, but Mion says that we had to find them. It's just making that treasure hunt our game now. As long as I can make Keiichi-san suffer her punishment, I care little as to what kind of game we play, but... Honestly, I prefer to play something more interesting than that. I agree. Plus, you're not sure they're here in the classroom, right, Mion? Oh. I wonder if it's gonna be a thing of, like, looking to Reina's desk. Okay. No, they're here. Or maybe this old man might put them in his pockets and let them by the washing machine. I don't remember. Okay, then we'll time to carry this goddamn treasure hunt all the way to Mion's house then, apparently. Oh boy. I recommend checking the total number of tiles to replay Mahjong with Mion next time. Everybody except Mion nodded in agreement. What? You don't want to play our classroom tile hunting game? In other words, clean up the mess Mion made so she could cheat? Yeah. You know what's the more funner game than this, apparently? 52 card pickup. Do it yourself. Don't use our club activities for personal reasons. Fine, fine. What do you want to do? We can't play Mahjong now. What are we playing then? Does anybody have any ideas? As a club president, Mion usually decides what we'll play. I can just come up with something on the spot. Well, we were all thinking. Mion hit her palm with her fist, just like she said, just like she did earlier. Oh, I get an idea. Music cut out. Music cut out. It means something's happening. It means something's happening. Hold your horses, people. You don't want to hunt for tiles? Let's do a real treasure hunt. What name comes to your mind when I say treasure hunting? Reina, right? You mean, are we going to the garbage dump at the damn construction site? I was figuring something's going to happen in the outside world. I figured something's going to happen there. Oh my good god, actually, is that how the whole introduction to this whole title goes? That's very, fully, truly intriguing. Wow, my friend committed murder, but we'll help him make sure not to get it caught. Okay then. Oh good God. I think this is actually chapter 6 too. I don't really go there often, but the place is huge. I've heard that the place is haunted by the ghost of a man who was murdered there. His body was cut into pieces. We shouldn't go near. Oh, this music's back actually now. It's actually kind of cool though, still. The angelic anxiety-driven though. A ghost? I like it! Ghost finding. Get your cameras out. It's even better. I didn't know there was a rumor like that. I do know that someone was murdered there and the main suspect is still in the loose. Yeah, this almost feels like the same. You had the arm of the victim and haven't been found yet, right? There's a rumor the construction site manager, the victim of the dismemberment murder case, became a ghost and that's wandering around the place to find his missing arm. Rika? You don't like ghosts? Don't tell me you're still scared of ghosts. I'm a shrine maiden. I can see them even if I don't want to. Been plagued by those whole things. Oh God, what is that one anime called? Of this one normal one normal girl who's like at some random point she starts seeing like the most scariest ghosts, demons, and other things imaginable. She has to pretend not to notice them at all. What is that one called? Man, the second I learned what the concept was, I wanted to watch it, but every single time I completely forget what it's called because I'm terrible with names, apparently. Wow, you can see ghosts? Its ability. If I remember right, I've heard those who can see spirits see them as naturally as they do us. So literally, well, is it a thing if you see ghosts that mean they have a corporeal form, you actually bumped into them, then it technically means that they know that you can see you, or you can pass right through them. That's utterly ridiculous. I've been living with Rika for a long time. I've never seen anything like that. I'm pretty sure I don't know if ghost seeing capabilities were transfer the people who live in the same house for a while. I don't think that's what happens. Not just because you can't see them, but I can. For example, when you sleep in your bed, I always see a boogeyman. Napa Hoshi. Rika, why do you just smile like that? What are you about to say? What do you see when I'm sleeping? The most weirdest and most nightmare-inducing goddamn boogeyman. It's literally just it's stuck in the ceiling, staring down with a creepy four rows of teeth smile, staring down at you while you sleep. You're just like, oh yeah, that's normal. Okay, good night, Sadako. Night. There's more just wandering around through the entire house. Sadako, I feel sorry for you. You can pretend you're not scared of ghosts in the day, but I'm pretty sure you get scared when it gets dark. I'm going to make a phone call tonight just to scare the hell out of her. Including myself, I don't think anybody really likes going there. Reina's the only one who does. If Reina finds a ghost when she's in her acute mode, she might take it home with her. Which, honestly, that's the only thing I'll let her take, honestly. Why wouldn't you want to bring a ghost home with you? Unless they're poltergeists and I'm mad. But, ghost! It's a ghost! Why wouldn't you take it home? They literally just take just see just a normal, oh my god. Just like a normal demon or some vampire, just some random monster, I see you, whips a collar around neck, I'm coming home with you, I'm domesticating you. Good god. That's so true. She'd say, "Aw, I'm taking you home with me." It was so easy to imagine that all of us laughed. Well, let's do it. Let's go treasure hunting. If you find a ghost, you win. You get a point if you find the victim's missing right arm. You also get a point if you find anything that Reina would like. We'll show we found a Reina later, and we'll let her decide who's the winner. Oh, I can't wait to win the game and make Keiichi-san take double the punishment. Hey, Sadako, are you sure you want to win? That means you're gonna see a ghost. Ooh, spooky ghost noises and finger waggling. Stop it! You're getting my nerves. I don't want to go there. I'm scared of ghosts too. What do you mean you're scared of ghosts too? Who else are you referring to? I'm not scared at all. You're not scared, but you're mildly frightened then. Keiichi-san, stop doing that! Ooh, spooky ghost noises. Pulls out a random tablecloth sheet and puts it overhead. Ooh, spooky ghost noises. Take it off already! Takes the goddamn bedsheet off. Keiichi's vanished. Ah! The one true poltergeist in the entire game so far. Keiichi was never crazy in the third installment. He never was. He was just never real to begin with. Let's go, everybody. Let's find the ghost. Woo! And it'll be over with. Everything will be over and done with. Yes. It'll be over when the Higurashi cry. That's actually, okay. So I do know, like, I like title drops. That was a weird way to close up a 1 second of the chapter, honestly. But it's a small nitpick, honestly, just for me. It's dawn. From dusk till dawn. And now it's nighttime. So, that's it. Yeah, that's what happened. Reina finished making her confession. There was no applause or curtain call. It was a quiet and lonely stage that Reina performed on alone. I think I'd forgotten to blink since her confession started. Everybody else seemed to be feeling the same way. Reina looked at us, like she was a teacher waiting for questions like from her students. We noticed that she was imitating what Chi-sensei does near the class, and we all smiled bitterly. I went to Yaguchi earlier to find a place to bury these bags. It was hard to pick a place because I wanted to make sure that nobody would ever find them. I even thought about burying them in my backyard because it might be the safest. After I thought about it, I knew that wouldn't work. My father might start planting vegetables one day and he might find them. So it's better I bury them somewhere in the mountains. Plus, I don't ever want to let her near my father, even though she's dead, spiritually. You don't want the aura taint your own goddamn homeland, your yard. Because even if he plants the vegetables there, I'm pretty sure those vegetables are gonna rot and wither before anything happens. I felt like I did something very bad. Reina's plan was going smoothly. If I'd only hunted for the Mahjong tile instead of insisting on doing something else, this wouldn't have happened. When I looked at the others, they all seem to be regretting their actions too. Man, why do we have to uncover our best friend's diabolical plot to get rid of the body? Man. If Mion hadn't come up with the idea to play the garbage dump, Masako hadn't found the broken refrigerator. If Rika trying to convince us not to go, Reina would have had a few more days, and she could have gotten rid of these trash bags. They never would have been found. Then what would have happened next? Nothing. Everything would have remained the same. We could have kept having happy and peaceful days. Reina had been through a hard time, but she'd been forcing her face to smile for us. The fake smile was supposed to become a real one day. None of us were supposed to notice that Reina was going through a hard time. After a while, Reina was supposed to be able to forget the bitter memory of killing these two, and she's supposed to live as if nothing had happened. But now, all of her effort, all her courage, been ruined. It's only ruined if you go to police with it. It's only ruined then. I know killing people is a bad thing to do. I didn't want to do this, but I don't want to do it again in the future. But I believe this was the best solution. I also believe I didn't do anything wrong. I just applied my utmost efforts when God presented me with the equal opportunity to regain my happy, peaceful life. Saying we should accept suffering and live in an immaterial life without desires is nothing more than pretty words from those who have plenty. Nobody could belittle my efforts. Or they should praise me for what I did. Okay, okay, I kind of agree with the first few parts, but don't go into praising and gloat-worthy stuff, okay? They should celebrate for me. Reina Ryugu fought for her own fate. Okay, maybe that way. And she won. I don't know why I did it, but I interrupted her. I mean, I shouldn't have. I thought I needed to tell her this, so I did. But, Reina, why didn't you tell us? What do you mean? We're friends, aren't we? Friends are always on your side without exception, no matter what. I thought friends were like family. If you told us about it, we could have helped you. Then you wouldn't have had to get your hands dirty. What Reina told us made me sad. I couldn't myself from saying that to her. Reina told us straight that she did the best she could. She told us that right to our faces. That's the same thing as saying that she didn't need us in order to do the best she could. Chan, you can say that now, but... Wait, let me finish. I believe friends are there to share both happiness and hardship. If you come to talk to us, I believe we could have done something different, and we could have led you to a better future. Better future? There's no better future than what I have right now. This is the best possible future. That's a lie. My shout's gonna scare her a little. I knew that Reina didn't believe that this was the best possible future. She just didn't have any other choice. If she'd had other choices, she definitely wouldn't have chosen this one. I know you don't believe that because you're crying. What? Who's crying? Me? I'm not crying! You're crying! Who cut the onions here? I'm not crying. Yes, you are. You've been crying the whole time. Haven't you noticed it? In fact, I didn't see any tears in her eyes or on her face at all. But that didn't mean she wasn't crying. Reina was crying. She was crying because she was driven to a corner after all the hard work she did to become happy. Her tears looked so sad. Anyone who can see those tears wasn't really thinking about her. I'm not crying. I won't cry. I did the right thing. I made the right choice. There's no reason for me to cry. That's ridiculous. I have no idea what you're talking about, Keiichi. Yeah, no one here is crying. Only the Higurashi should cry. I know it. You're crying right now. Reina stopped laughing all of a sudden, and she spoke with a cold expression in her face. Okay, let's say I did what you just told me. I told you all about my father and my woman. Then what? Well, then what? Reina never talked to me like this before. As if she was mocking my ignorance, and that made me shut my mouth. You don't know what happened last year. Last year? Yeah, last year. It happened in June of 1982. There was someone who had no choice to kill a person to free himself from his misfortune that everyone believes right now, until the other thing gets resolved. I'm putting down that, even though it makes a lot of sense. Still, I'm putting reasonable doubt onto it. Okay, reasonable doubt. I'm gonna say it again for the record. Hopefully the record isn't scratched by now and unplayable. Sadako gasped. Does that mean like Sadako never even consider that that Satoshi actually killed her aunt? Actually, oh my good gosh, actually, or just surprised to bring that up again. It's actually kind of funny if you never even realized or like thought of it before. Oh boy. Keiichi-kun, I don't think you know much about him, but Satoshi Hojo-kun. I know that he's Sadako's older brother. He's been missing, but people say he transferred. There's a rumor that he killed his aunt for Sadako's sake. Therefore, it's been taboo to talk about Satoshi in my class. Actually, in all of Hinamizawa. Satoshi-kun was under the same conditions as I was. He just wanted to have happy and peaceful days. He just wanted to live peacefully and quietly with his sister. I mean, you've heard about what kind of person Sadako-chan's aunt was, haven't you? If what I heard is true, this is what happened. Though Sadako lost her parents, her uncle and aunt got custody of her and her brother, but they were miserable people. Her aunt was especially cruel to Sadako. Satoshi was the kind of guy who wouldn't even hurt a fly, but his aunt probably was the only one whom he didn't have a problem killing. That's how terrible person she was. Everybody in Hinamizawa knew about the trouble the Hojo family had. Everybody knew that their aunt was a hysterical and crazy person, that she bullied Satoshi-kun and Sadako-chan. Everybody knew everything. Every class knew it too. Mi-chan, the future head of the three families, knew it, Rika-chan knew it, and Sadako-chan knew it too, of course, because she was the one experiencing it. The friends you're talking about knew what Satoshi-kun was going through more than anyone in Hinamizawa. And what happened? Did anybody help Satoshi-kun? No. Nobody did. Mi-chan had the most influence out of all of us, but she made up a lame excuse, saying it might create a conflict between the Sonozaki family and the villagers. In the end, all she did was hurting him by offering her sympathy. That's not true. Yes, it is! Satoshi-kun too knew it too. He knew that you were only pretending to sympathize with him. He knew that you had no intention to help him. That's why Satoshi-kun started to hate you, Mi-chan. He said that you always told him you were his friend, but after all that, you turned out to be just another Sonozaki, just another person who bullied the Hojo family. I didn't mean to. You didn't do anything to help him. That wasn't actually Mia, but let's not ruin this your little moment. Actually, you rejected his request for help by sympathizing with him. Do you have any idea how much that hurt? Mia tried to find something to say, but failed to do so. She bit her lip instead. Pikachu, you were the same too. Happy smile. Now Reina was pointing fingers at Rika-chan, all 11 of them. Unlike Mion, Rika-chan looked emotionless and empty, just like Reina did. I did my best. With what? Rika-chan, you don't have the kind of power in Hinamizawa that Mii-chan does, but your word carries a lot of weight with the old people who come to your shrine, don't they? That's something you could have done for him, but you didn't. I did my best. Rika-chan, you did exactly the same thing as Mii-chan did. You just pretended to be his friend. All you did was sympathize with him and Sadako-chan. You didn't try to help them out of the trouble they were in. Can you imagine how cruel and merciless your sympathy was to them? Satoshi-kun wanted help. He wanted somebody to help him. He was at a dead end and couldn't get out of there by himself. He was sinking all the way down to his neck in the swamp, reaching for help and waiting for someone to grab his hand. You're right. Rika-chan's voice sounded mature. It was very different from how she usually sounded. I didn't know how to save them. All I could do was offer them some consolation. I'm not gonna deny it, nor am I gonna make an excuses for my sin of not trying hard enough to find a way to save them. I didn't know you knew. Reina gave her a twisted smile. The ugliness caused me to look away. And Sadako-chan, I don't know if you believe me when I say this, but you're weighed down with sin too. I understand why she was blaming Sadako. I tried to take her side, but I guess in surprise I looked at her. She looked like she was accepting the sin that Reina had mentioned. Sadako must have wanted to confess her sin before Reina pointed out to her. And so, Sadako opened her mouth first. I don't know if you believe me when I tell you this either, but I realized on my own. I know what my sin is. I see. I realized on the night Nini disappeared. I wish I'd realized it while he was still there. I understand how you feel. That sense that it was too late for regrets, right? I feel the same way. It happened to me before. That's why I fought this time. Sadako-chan, I'm sure you can atone for your guilt in the future. Because you realize what you did. But I won't bring Nini back. He's not coming back. Sadako looked down sadly. Usually Sadako would say the opposite. She always said that Satoshi was coming back one day without a doubt. But now, she accepted the fact that he would never return. She accepted it easily, as if she knew it already, because he's her brother. Do you understand now? She asked me all of a sudden. You're just like Satoshi-kun. Would you have actually helped at all, Keiichi? That's how they were in 1982. Satoshi-kun talked to everybody, and he talked to everybody he thought could help him. He told them that he needed help, but he told them what he was going through. He consulted with them. He even came to me, even though I just moved here at the time. I don't think it was embarrassing or shameful that he did that. People get desperate when they're unhappy. Satoshi-kun tried very hard. I couldn't do anything about the situation, asked for help. Oh yeah, no, I've been in this situation before. Like, I just told all my friends about it, and I was only just, again, just one situation I was in. It was only just a wait-and-see situation. I just did let out stress anyway like that. He kept asking for help. He said friends are always on your side no matter what, but this is what friends really are. They're actually just people you hang out around with for fun. They don't help you when you need them. Friends are always like that. Well, does that mean best friends technically do that? Or am I just normal friends? So it's not really the power of friendship, it's the power of best friendship. Oh my gosh, we need to change the trope name right now, actually. That's why I decided not to tell anybody when I found out that I was in the same situation as Satoshi-kun. I knew that nobody would help me and that nobody could. You know, it's actually kind of unique you're saying this here, but the very second all this happened, the first installment, it was a complete inverse, honestly, as well. Ooh boy. I know it's not, it's literally just probably just like maturity of him being the same like situation, but ooh boy, timeline hypocriticism. Ugh, the timeline hypocriticism. Ooh, it's paining me. Ooh, the heart is hurting me. Ooh. But I know it's different. I know it's literally different, but still. That's why I decided not to tell anybody when I found out that I was in the same situation as Satoshi-kun. I knew that nobody would help me and that nobody could. I didn't need sympathy. It makes me feel worse. Yeah, especially imagine like yeah, but in my house of Toshi put imagine like noticing something is wrong and you couldn't do anything in your power to do so. Or like what was it? Noticing something was wrong and like you tried going for everyone for help. Like the people who actually could help but they didn't. So then what else do you do? Again, this is going to the whole thing of going to extremes when you like everything else is pushed off the table. When everything else pushed off the table. I didn't need sympathy. It only makes me feel worse. It's better that I at least have fun at school. But I did have fun at school. I was very happy. I was able to forget about the trouble I had with that woman, only for a short amount of time at school. I wish Satoshi-kun could have done that too. If he did, he wouldn't have had to feel constantly hopeless, and he could have at least enjoyed his time at school. Yeah, but what was it? Yeah, but from the sound of it, literally, he was like both his I guess what was it, both his like part-time job and also like whatever his aunt was trying to do. It kind of ate into any free time he ever had. And even if like besides his job, like he worked at night, like his aunt would just like eat into his own free time and just like left. It's like that's even worse, honestly. The one thing that actually keeps saying, honestly, someone else that you absolutely hate is like eating into it. Honestly. So yeah, it would make anyone depressed. I've been in it too. He didn't have any choice than beating his aunt to death anyway. I didn't know how to help him that time because I just moved here. All I could do was listen to him and try to make him feel better. There might have been something more I could have done. I might have been lazy in thinking about what I could do. That time in 1982, I thought I was his friend. Okay, that's beautiful, actually. Reina's self-derisive laughter changed into grievous sobs. Her tears gradually wore away at our relationship of trust. Nobody will help me. Friends are just people whom you have fun with. You can't trust them. The more Reina cried, the clearer we heard her voice in her heart. Mion, Sadako, and Rika-chan looked into the distance with a sad expression in their faces. I was the only one who could say anything back to her now. No, the only way you can prove her wrong right now is if honestly, you stand up, walk away a tiny bit from the group, pick up a random trash bag right there, and just start walking towards the mountains right now. That's the only thing you can do to prove her right, honestly. I had to tell her this, and she knew it too. She just needed to hear from someone. I braced myself to tell her something that might hurt everybody. I understand, Reina. I understand what happened in 1982. I understand that they were heartless, but Sadako also told you this. They realized their sins. They regretted what they did and didn't do. So it should be different this time. They can understand your pain, and they can help you. You weren't here last year. I'm afraid you don't know what you're talking about. That's right. I wasn't here last year. I wish I were. If I was here last year, I would have fought for Satoshi. You're lying! I'm not lying. I've learned how important friends are since I moved to Hinamizawa. I'll fight for my friends. If I was here last year and knew Sadako's aunt did it to her Satoshi, I wouldn't have given Satoshi the opportunity to beat her to death. I would have done it myself. Okay, that's actually provable, honestly. And especially if I'm okay, crap. Microphone stuff. Literally, if I'm the third storm, honestly, it kind of proved he would have done that anyway. So yeah, honestly. So I'm yeah, you're actually telling the truth, actually. I would have done it myself. I would have done it in 1,500 seconds. Just name drop that. I wouldn't have even hesitated. I would have beaten her to death with a metal bat. Yeah. That's easy for you to say. Only in words right now, but in action's a different life. Finger guns, maybe. But you don't know the kind of determination you need to kill in a person. I don't know that. I don't need to know that now either. You know why? Because it's an obligation to help your friends. You don't understand, Keiichi-kun. You don't know how disgusting it is to kill a person. You can never get rid of the dirt on your hands, no matter how hard you try to justify it. You're right. Killing a person in order to save your friends is such a short-sighted way of thinking. It might sound like I'm contradicting myself, but I think things aren't meant to go well when you take care of an evil matter by doing an evil deed. I'm proud of my conviction that I wouldn't hesitate to kill a person for the sake of my friends, but the peace I get by doing an evil deed won't last forever. We all know that by instinct. That's why we all despise evil things, I think. In some capacity, on this end of the screen. What? I have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't tell me that. I was aware it wasn't making any sense. Your little words are just getting jumbled up together. But, for some reason, I could easily imagine a world like that. A world in which I saved my precious friends by committing an evil act. The peace I seized by doing the evil deed didn't last long. It got worse, ended in a way as terrible as the sin I committed. This is a memory that shouldn't exist. I don't know why. I know for a fact that it happened, in that world of possibility. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. For some weird reason, I couldn't prevent myself from smiling in embarrassment even in a situation like this. But you know too, don't you, Reina? You know that you didn't want to get your hands dirty. You're crying because you want us to stop to help you, but we didn't. You didn't want to be a murderer. You're lying when you claim that this was the best choice you could have had made. That's why you've been crying. That's not true! 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 You know better than anybody if it's true or not. I've been regretting this from the beginning. If you're able to hide the corpse without getting caught, you could never wash the blood off your hands. How are you going to fool yourself to believe that you won't have to live the rest of your life bearing the burden of your sin? There's only one way to do that. To believe that this is the only choice. That means you have to live with your life denying your friends and denying that your friends are worth asking for help. Are we worth nothing to you, Reina? Of course not. You always believe that friends exist to help each other. Your friends were immature last year. That's why they couldn't help Satoshi from his unfortunate fate. But people grow up. We don't make the same mistake twice. We don't want to regret the same thing twice. So, believe me. We're your friends. We're on your side. So what you're saying is that I was immature too, right? Yeah, I am. You should have grown up, Reina. Oh my god. You were immature because you couldn't believe that your friends grew up. But I'm not gonna blame you for that. We didn't notice until today they've been going through such a hard time all alone. People communicate their feelings only by talking to others. So there's nothing we could do because we didn't talk. Yeah. In that sense, it's hard to say it, but we have to admit that this was meant to happen today in order to make your choice the best one for real. We finally talked about our feelings. We know now that you've been distrusting your friends since last year, that everybody regretted both what they did and didn't do. So now, we finally became true friends. Finally, but it's too late. No, it's not too late. Pick up a garbage bag right now. I only noticed her since after it's too late. That's not necessarily true. For example, as your friend, I can understand the things you've done. This time, but only this time. What do you mean by that? I've done this before and everything turned out horrible. But maybe it's just because the whole world went crazy and not about the fact you committed the deed perfectly, honestly. It's because the whole world actually went crazy. It's not because you did the deed wrong, actually. I understand that depriving people of their lives is an unforgivable crime. But I also understand that my friend, Reina, had no other choice but to do this. You're kind of mixing your words here, like, am I believing she doesn't have any choice, but she technically did not have a choice, honestly. And actually, by the time Reina actually died anyway, she technically did not have a choice at all. Like, yeah, like, self-defensive mode, go. Or you could do the whole thing of, like, literally, since she, got away from it, and she could have ran away and all that, but, it kind of would have made things worse for her dad and everything. By that point, actually, by this point in the timeline, technically speaking, unless the police catch on to her, technically then, from the sound of it, technically then her dad would, like, give her all their money, and then, things have been wholly much worse, honestly. So, yeah. So I don't think you're filthy. I'm not scared of you. If something like this happens again, we should talk and think about what we can do together. But this already happened, and I understand that. When I say understand, I mean I forgive you. I don't hate you for what you did. I said to everybody this time. I said to all my friends. I accept what Reina did. I accept that she had no choice other than to do this. And this was her last resort after thinking it through many times. So, I'm gonna side with her. Kei-chan, you better do it right now, too. Go over to the goddamn trash pile and pick it up right now. Of course, if she killed them for money or some other stupid reason, I'd drag her to the police. That wasn't why Reina did this. She couldn't run away, and she thought it through before she came to this point. If she's guilty of anything, she's only guilty for not talking to us about it beforehand. But I forgive her for that too. I forgave her for coming to this point. I mean, that's another thing. If Lily talked to everyone, like literally again, honestly, if you like talk to everyone and they wouldn't do anything still, then what can you do, honestly? And if they do, it just turned the whole hypocritical thing of why didn't you come to us sort of thing. I tried. You wouldn't listen type deal. So yeah. Keiichi. So you better actually come on, get off your sorry asses and help me here. So I beg you all, please forgive me for not noticing Reina's situation and for letting her go through it alone. My sin is that I allowed a day like today to come to pass. Keiichi-san. We're the only ones who know about these bags, so we keep it to ourselves, everything will be fine. Reina doesn't have to worry about a thing. Let's hide them somewhere like she planned. We'll cleanse ourselves with salt later, and that's it. Normal salt, table salt, or purifying salt, the big distinction. Let's forgive each other for our sins now, and then we'll regain our happy and peaceful days. This is it, right? Reina, this is the future you chose, right? This is the best possible choice for you, right? Keiichi-kun. I jumped in the hood of the abandoned car Reina was standing on. I reached out for her hands. Admit it! This is the world you wanted. This is the choice you wanted to make. But this is something that you can't choose by yourself. All of us have to reach for each other's hands, so that Reina can make the choice. In other words, I can't make it happen by myself. I need everybody to reach for each other's hands. So, Reina, you need to do it too. When all of us hold hands together, that's when you can go to the world that exists beyond the choice you made. Keiichi-kun, I appreciate it, if you really mean it, but, I'm not sure if that's what everybody else wants. A little hand touched mine. Hi. It was Rika-chan. Rika-chan! Oh. Reina, you weren't filthy. You didn't give up. You seized your fate, even though you had to dirty your hand to do it. I had no reason not to accept you. Rika-chan's small hand was strong, and she spoke eloquently. I know how comfortable it feels to be stained by disappointment at everything in this world, getting lost in a maze of misfortune. That's why I can understand how strong you are and how hard you fought, alone, without giving up. I'm proud of having you in my life. I agree with Keiichi. I forgive you for your sin. So please forgive me for mine too. Rika-chan, I'm just a little girl without any power, but I could have fought. I'll not give up on my fate. I'll fight like you did. So I ask you to accept me as your friend. Rika-chan usually acts childish, but now she was like a totally different person. She meant every word she was saying. And then, another little hand reached out to ours. Hi. Sadako? Sadako put her hand over mine and Rika-chan's. She didn't say anything, looking down for a while. Rika-chan urged her to speak. Rika and I lost both our parents. We never cried about it, however, because we have you, family, made of friends. I want us to continue to be a family for you. It's natural to get it all out and confess everything to your family because, well, they are your family. So I think today was a good opportunity for us. I appreciate that we had the chance to forgive each other for our sins. A family of friends. Sadako, I like that. I forgive you for your sin, Reina-san. Please forgive me for mine too. A big hand reached out for ours. It was Mion's. Okay, that's kind of funny, actually. I always thought it was my job as a leader of this club to talk about the importance of friends, so... I guess I'm not that good of a leader after all, huh? Mion? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make fun of you. Mion still smiled and scratched her head. Reina, I'm ashamed of myself. As your friend, as the club president, for not being able to notice what you've been through. I'd like you to forgive me for that. Of course, I also forgive you for not telling us about it. You couldn't tell me because I wasn't good enough for you. I thought I was trying to be a good leader for you, but I guess I wasn't doing my job. It's my fault. So I forgive you for your sin, Reina. Okay. Reina! Now you have all our hands. We're all ready for you. It's your turn. Reach out for us. Come to us. This is the world you wanted. You have all of our hands right here for you to reach. So don't hesitate. I'm a murderer. I'll get you guys into trouble. Reina, we are... Rikichan, you don't need to say anything. We are all reaching for your hand now. What else do we need to say to prove to you? Reina, you don't need to say anything. All you need to do is reach out for us. Come on, Reina. This is real. It's not too late. You still have choices you can make now. So choose. You can still make it. Come on. It's not too late to start over again. Reina slowly reached out, and her hand touched ours. She didn't hold our hands. All she needed to do was touch her hands to show us her will. Reina chose to live, to share her life with her friends, rather than to refuse them for the rest of her life. I took a step closer to her, and firmly grabbed her wrist. It was getting dark, and some stars had appeared in the sky. Wow, we've been talking for a long time, honestly. We all forgave each other for our sins for the first time. And it was a little embarrassing, but Reina's tears made us all cry, and we just kept crying together. We stood in a circle, holding each other by the shoulder, and putting our heads together in the middle. We are a family made of friends. We forgave each other, and we're happy together. There's a memory in the back of my mind, but it's not supposed to exist. You're seeing other timelines. Supernatural stuff is happening. Pseudoscience fiction stuff. It actually is happening. I tried to save one of my friends in that world. In order to do that, I rejected all of my other friends. I acted recklessly alone. It's more like you technically... No, you didn't really act recklessly because you kept asking over and over for the help too. And technically speaking, like, they couldn't figure out a way to help either. Besides what you said do afterwards, honestly. So, unless you want to go to them and, say, you want to help me commit a murder? So, there's that, so, yeah. There's that, too. Because, what was it? This is going back in my mind, honestly. Because there's always, like, I guess there's a tiny bit of doubt, honestly. But, I mean, from the sound of it, like, it's probably what's could be addressed in this, what happened in the first installment, especially with the doubt going on through, of, like, just complete, utter misunderstandings, like, happening, like, honestly happening repeatedly, one after another. And, honestly, if you misunderstand what's happening, then, obviously that'll make everything go hostile, and, really quickly, honestly. That's definitely what happened there, but just the fact that, the others didn't try to talk to Keiichi at all, and now it's technically, and since technically it's the very first introduction to anything had in the series, it makes sense for how Keiichi reacted. Like, honestly. But everyone else was literally just assuming that he was, like, doing everything from the sound of it, like, going against them in some way. Even though it's not what was happening. It was also another big misunderstanding. It's like, if you don't really talk, or, like, you try talking, but they don't understand what you actually mean, things are gonna go wrong. It's actually a thing of, like, you have to be sensitive with the way you say anything. Especially with the truth or anything like that. If you, like, I guess, like, only say part of it, they won't understand, I guess, a part, like, what's happening, or else, it's what you do with the truth, honestly, that, like, actually comes, like, makes the outcome different. That's, I guess, another way to put it. I've seen many, like, recent stories actually start, like, actually tackling that. Not the whole fact that like, lying is, like, like, completely bad or anything like that. It's the fact that, if you got to the truth, you know exactly what's happening, and then you have the choice actually then what to do with it. Because, what was it? If it's like a very big nuanced situation, like maybe like this, then, like, it's like saying, like, you're just going for the truth, just honestly, just for the sake of it. Not just because, like, you actually want to do something with it. It's just, you just want to get to it just because, oh, this is what everyone tries for it to be, right? Obviously, nothing else. But yeah, no, what do you do when you get to it, honestly? do you then just, like, let other people, like, handle it for you, even though you did everything, like, yourself? Because we just leave it at that and nothing else, then things might go wrong, honestly. Honestly. And if you tried everything in your power to actually, like, utilize the truth and actually try to talk to people and they still don't understand you, then what else can you do? That's back in my mind for a bit. I tried to save one of my friends in that world. In order to do that, I rejected all of my other friends. I acted recklessly alone. And I brought about the end of the world. I don't think it was your fault, honestly, unless... That's technically Oyashiro-sama's fault, then, honestly. Not yours, honestly, Keiichi. That's honestly not yours, then. The situation we had here is the same as the incident in that faraway world. In the sense that people had been deprived of their lives in order to save one friend of mine. Again, I just want to know if it's not spoilery, like... For the whole console port to actually combine everything together for different choices to go different routes like this, could you actually get to the answers arc? Because I'm just imagining someone gets to this and you're like, wait, that means Keiichi kills someone on their route? Because that almost sounds so much spoilery, honestly. Like, my gosh. Like, that should be, like, that should be saved for right then and nothing else. Like, my god, that was too good. But other than that, it was different. We have Reina, Mion, Sadako, Rika-chan, and myself. Nobody was missing. Well, technically, Satoshi's missing, so, we're gonna regain them. We're gonna regain those happy and peaceful days. The road going through here might be a little rough now, but we'll walk it together. We all will. We went to the place in the mountains at Yaguchi that Reina picked for burying the bags. Yes, we're gonna help bury a body for her best friend. I mean, honestly, it's a true test. Would you, like, help get rid of a corpse for a best friend? That's the true test of friendship, honestly, like that. That's the true test of friendship, honestly. I can't think of anything stronger than that, besides your own life. Literally, I think that's actually the next best thing, actually. The next test. Right below it. Carrying corpses is a scary thing to do, but it made us united more strongly because of that. Since each part of the corpse is in a separate plastic trash bag, we can tell what's inside in each bag by touching it. First, we forced ourselves to laugh whenever we had to touch the bodies because we were scared. After a while, we got used to it, to the point where we could make jokes about it. Of course, all that was probably a bluff, unless your sense of humor is very morbid. But we all tried our best. Mion somehow had detailed knowledge of how to hide corpses, and showed me to dig the hole a bit deeper. Okay, the next, if we could, don't actually kill an animal, but, like, find, like, like some roadkill or something like that, and put it over top of the body pieces all together. That way, if a police hound comes and, like, smells a body, they find that roadkill next, and just think that's what the dog is finding, and then go away. And actually, for an added cherry on top, somehow find some endangered plant species and bury it over top of it. That way, the police, are even more discouraged from doing it so. Even more so, honestly. It works. It works. And also, if you can, do it vertically. So, the police actually have less of time to actually find it. That's only if, the body is, not cut up. Honestly, so. I have knowledge. I've run a lot, okay? I'm not I don't know how. I don't know how. I haven't done it before, I swear. Mion somehow had detailed knowledge of how to hide corpses, and she told me to dig the hole deeper. Rika-chan helped to carry the bags. What, just her? Okay, then. Sadako used her talent at setting traps to perfectly camouflage the place where we buried the bags. Look, our talents are all combined together. Me? You just had words of encouragement. I was in charge of digging the hole. Reina dug it earlier, but I made it a little deeper. After we finished all that, we walked back to the place where we parked our bicycles, looked back at the place where we buried the bags. It was completely unnoticeable. I'd never been able to find the place again once we left for home. That's how perfect it looked. Great! Thank you all for your hard work. We're done here. It's time to go home. Mion said it cheerfully, as if we just finished club activities or something. So who won? Who gets the punishment game? Hands on hips. It's a sitcom. We had no more bags to carry, and we had no longer had any burden to carry either. The sin has been absolved. Well, we should all go, again, get holy water. Spray it all over ourselves, apparently. Probably not me, I just need, like, normal, regular table salt for her, because she's technically a demon, but you know what I mean, okay? We got on our bicycles, but Reina was still standing there, looking to the distance. Hey, Reina? What? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I caught a cold or something. I feel feverish and dizzy. Reina's face looked slightly red. Mian touched Reina's forehead. It was actually a little warm. She had a tough day today. She had to go through so many things. She had to find a place at the corpses, technically bear her soul, and honestly, the complete and utter shock maybe of being completely fucking rejected. Especially with people you apparently would have thought would be like, your whole world, technically speaking, outside of that. That's gonna be worse feeling, honestly, in that doubt as well. She had to dig a hole. We caught her with the bags. We talked about our feelings. And we forgave each other. She must be exhausted their day like that. Emotionally, physically, and everything else. Spiritually, too. Reina, you should rest well when you get home. Yes, thank you. I will. Reina, we forgave each other for everything. So don't blame yourself anymore, okay? You were right about me. What do you mean? I couldn't fool myself. No matter how hard I tried to justify what I did, I was still scared. Look at me. I'm still shaky even with all the help I got from you. If you hadn't found me with the corpses, if I'd taken care of this alone, I wouldn't be able to bear the burden. I'm pretty sure I would have been crushed with the pressure. She said all this with a bitter smile. It might take her a long time to heal from the pain, but it must be 100 times shorter than the time it would have taken if she did this all alone. Reina's home was the closest from here. Reina went her way, and the 4 of us were left behind. So, will that happen, guys? God damn it, that goddamn fucking line. Mian made a suggestion. I think we should just forget about today. What do you think? I agree. I think that would be best for Reina-san, too. Reina's a strong girl. If we act like nothing happened, she'll act that way, too. If you keep acting for long enough, it becomes real, right? I mean, if she wants to bring it up, don't fucking, say never happened, though. We'll be able to forget by not talking about it. Our goal is to forget about it completely. I think we'll keep wondering whether or not the day of reckoning will come for the rest of our lives, though. You're probably correct. I just imagine, well, isn't there a statute of limitations thing? So imagine thinking that while you're, like old in the retirement home. It's not gonna be easy to simply let it go. And if I can't forget about it for the rest of my life, that's not me. The most important thing is to keep it in my heart forever. The most important thing is that we don't make her think about it. We're not in agreement, just my house came to view. Well, this is goodbye then, everyone. See you at school. Just like always. Just like always. I was a perfect trap for you, just like always. Goodbye, Kei-chan. After I parted with them, I still felt hot. And dizzy. Yeah, I can imagine that. It's gonna take a while, honestly. It's gonna take a long fucking time, honestly. It felt really weird. I was even staggering to the front door. Yeah, just imagine, telling a secret that I'm, basically upends, possibly how everyone would look at you. Yeah. I felt as if I was floating in the air, just like I just took some very cold medicine. Today, something very shocking, that made me super happy, and something very embarrassing happened to me. I felt as if my heart and mind were to explode because they were filled to the brim with both happiness and sadness. I don't know whether I made a crucial mistake today, or if I had the happiest day of my life. I don't know which it is yet, and all I could do was to stare blankly into space. I felt frustrated, too. Even though my friends, I was caught in the act of abandoning the corpses. At the same time, I felt relieved that my reliable friends accepted what I did. Those emotions were all mixed up in my heart, and they were equally strong, making it difficult for me to decide what I was feeling. It was losing my sense of balance. It was like the world was warping around me. I heard sounds if I was in the shower. Everything left me with a feeling of unreality. When those emotions were about to make me lose control, I felt a heat on my wrist. The part where Keiichi-kun grabbed me earlier started throbbing. My feelings weren't cooperating with me, but the heat on my wrist calmed them down for me. I don't know how to express what I felt when my friends and I held shoulders together in a circle earlier, but the feeling was the only thing I knew to be real. I'm home! Honey, I'm home! Huh? Since I opened the front door, I smelled it. It's dinner time! It smelled really good. My father isn't good at cooking, but he likes trying to cook creative dishes. Remember, he used to cook something very challenging whenever he was in a good mood. The smell was a sign that he felt that way. That's why I always liked the smell. The reason he was in a good mood is because he found a job. Not just any job. He found a job with a company created by friends from his old workplace. They remembered my father and promised to hire him. He told me that some of his other colleagues from the old company are also working there. It must be very encouraging for him to work with people he knows, because he hasn't worked for a long time. The dinner looked great, in contrast to how it tasted. It was dinner to celebrate his new life, to show his determination, to gain his bond with his daughter, and to make a clean start. I talked about a lot of things with my father that night. It had been a long time since the last time I talked with him like this. I don't remember when it was, but it reminded me of the days I was still happy, which meant I had finally returned to that time. My father still believes that Teppei is coming back one day, so he's still very cautious about locking the doors and windows. He gets scared every time someone rings the doorbell. Yeah, and probably there's gonna be that whole thing of like being paranoid, looking over your shoulder, the police are gonna catch you, or someone finds out, tries to put you in anyway. So technically, parallels with real time. I told him so many times that they have come back, but I couldn't convince him because I couldn't tell him the reason why they won't. He'll eventually realize that he's free. I'm sure it won't take too long. My heart was full of many, many emotions that day. If emotion could actually burst a heart open, it might happen to me. My brain must have been overworked because so many things happened at once. My head was still fuzzy, but I managed to crawl into bed. I felt like the ground was moving, until I lost my sense of reality. Remember that I once felt like this when I got the flu. I might get a high fever tomorrow. I don't care. I don't care if I get sick tomorrow. I just wanted to enjoy the fact that I took a step towards the future of my decision. Keiichi-kun told me something like that today. The high fever and the dizziness made me feel frustrated for some reason, because prolonging another day before coming back to normalcy. But whenever I felt frustrated, I felt the heat in my wrist too. I grabbed my wrist with my left hand tightly. It made the frustration go away. It brought me some relief. And the dizziness I didn't like just before made me feel like I was in a down-filled futon. I was falling asleep in that down-filled futon. My first night in a new world. This dizziness didn't go away for a few days, but I gradually got used to it. This new world looked like the world I used to live in before. The sunshine was a little bit brighter, and Keiichi-kun's smile looked a little bit more gentle than before. We made more noise than we used to. We spent every day slowly but in high spirits. What an idiot I am. I underestimated the dizziness, and I caught a summer cold in June. I want to get better as soon as possible. I should have taken a day off from club activities, but I forced us to play with them every day. That made it hard for me to get better. I finally learned my lesson recently. I don't need to feel frustrated. There's no limit to happiness in this world. As long as we keep wishing for it, it'll continue forever. I don't need to feel frustrated anymore, because tomorrow I will have the happiness I have today. We'll have the Watanagashi Festival next Sunday. Mii-chan tells us that we'll have a lot of fun and that we'll go extra crazy. I really can't wait. And that's how it goes. And I think that's chapter 6, actually. So, I'm curious of, like, how then they'll, like, I guess, address whatever happens the festival, or, like, actually what happens new there. Letter from the forestry office. Oh boy. You're crying right now. Achievement. Be forgiven. Oh boy. That actually got really nice, though. That was actually really nice. And that's the bulletin board from the shop that Shion and Satoshi actually went to. Hmm. It's still June. The air is filled with the cries of cicadas. How's everyone in Hinamizawa doing? The Watanagashi Festival's coming up just around the corner. We staff members in the forestry service are going to perform a wood sculpting demonstration at the festival. We'll be happy to lend out our tools and teach you kids how to sculpt wood themselves. Be an excellent memorial gift. Also, let inform everyone that we're going to cut down trees in the local hills this summer as part of number blank forest landscape management project. This project involves persevering the beauty of the forest by cutting down old trees and planting new ones. The forestry service needs volunteers interested in helping us cut down the old trees. Enjoy the beauty of nature under the blue sky while helping out with this preservation activity. The project will begin during summer break, so you can bring your kids too. This will be an opportunity for your kids to learn about nature and have a valuable experience. Location: the project, the forest in the Takasudo and Yaguchi areas. Maybe you shouldn't have buried the bodies in the bags itself and actually buried only the body parts so they could rot more faster. Maybe that too. Or just put some more preservers on that, but that was something that was not going to happen. That was just like complete, utter coincidence fact, anything that happened like that. I'm bringing all that up. Okay, then. I think that was actually chapter 6, actually speaking. I just want to be sure, actually. Yeah, it was chapter 5, so... yeah, that's the ending of chapter 6. So we're technically right over the threshold, and how much more is that going to be? So, either the Watanagashi Fest is going to happen, and winter summer break is going to be going, actually. That means, like, technically after the festival comes and goes, then then have to worry about I guess what happens to those bodies there, actually, and nothing else. They're cutting down trees though, unless they're gonna like dig up the stumps. Then if they dug really more deeper, then that makes it'd be harder to find. But all it would take would just be finding one dead body, and the whole jig is up. The whole jig is up. So I'm gonna assume they actually buried everything all into one big hole, very deep underground, very deep underground. And from the looks of it, was definitely in the forest, like the forest populated areas, which I wonder actually, like, well, because of that, it's probably better to like to bury actually in the open, like I guess like if there was like some random people and like they see you in the distance, like all that in an abandoned area, I guess there would be that. But if it's in a normal grass plains area, but probably way much better, honestly, because of stuff like that. But yeah, okay. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is because for this chapter instead everyone is more united and more understanding actually. So yeah, that's really like that's gonna be a whole different. I guess they're more of a team structure instead of just normal friends right now, which honestly is really interesting to think about. But since in some way I should reform. Every other installment was all about well, barring the fourth one because that didn't have the main phone group anyway like that. Even with Mion and Rika and Sadako just really yet, honestly. But like the first 3 installments and the fifth one technically by proxy, then like they also kind of just showed like there was some sort of upset because people were misunderstanding what was actually was happening. And it makes perfect sense why everyone was misunderstanding things. But I'm like, yeah, but now like I guess everyone's on the same page. That's gonna make things come differently then. And actually, it'll probably be another test if people actually if they all realize the body's gonna be found, and they'll probably make a perfect goddamn alibi. Honestly, I mean, like me and and Shion actually already suggest that to do that no matter what it is. And depending on how the autopsy finds those body parts, I don't know if I'm pretty sure like they would find I guess like when they like a person dies like or like gets chopped up or like just based on how long a decomposition's like decays and all that, they can probably think of something then or anything like that, or like think of some other way. If they read the bulletin board or anything like that, or like hear about it in certain circumstances, they'll start thinking about it that way. But yeah, that was actually really pleasant to think about. I don't really actually know what to add to it because I heard those same exact sentiments from other games like that. That do that talk about the same exact thing. And it does like feel just the right way to put it, honestly. Just yeah, the whole found family thing, just being there for each other. It's quite nice. It's quite nice. But of course, that bulletin point was the wrench into things, and well, at least at the very least, they know what everyone is like, on the same page, and they can they're now on better terms with each other and actually feel better about themselves, they probably can handle whatever happens in the future way better. Or unless this, well, obviously the story is like probably going more to the whole fact of literally just what was the word? How to put this? Basically, just demonizing, literally just killing anyone. Apparently, even though like how the story puts it, they like Reina technically had no choice, honestly, by the end of it. Besides, like she could have made smaller choices, but based in comparison to what happened in the past, yeah, it wasn't really going to help too much. And especially since I'm killing in self defense and all that. Like if it's like demonizing just some killing in self defense, then like the killing part, sure, but like just demonizing just any kind of self defense in general, like I won't stand for that. I won't stand for that at all. Just like just making people feel bad for just the feeling of just self preservation, which I'm pretty sure no matter who you are, it doesn't matter how selfish or selfless you are, the humane feeling of self preservation was to keep your own life safe and like comfortable, or literally just to make sure that you stay alive or not get injured gravely or otherwise, even down like to minor injury. Everyone has that innate instinct to actually try to to protect themselves. And I'm pretty sure if you don't have that feeling, then you're not even an animal or a goddamn person. And I don't even think even it'd probably actually be the true definition of a monster that you don't actually don't even have the feeling. That's actually the true definition of a monster. Honestly, like the harshest word for it anyway, like that. If like no one has that, then what even are you? You're not even a psychopath for that way because you're selfish and all that. That's something even more worse than that. But okay then. Hmm. But I guess for next time we're going to see how the whole group actually handles from the sound of it. Either what happens at the festival and who dies there, or whatever new thing pops up there, probably Oishi like looking around, snooping around, or finding out that the whole area which they buried the bodies in is going to be cut down for demolition. So unless they catch that and redig the bodies back up and like find a new place to bury it anyway, or they only learn about it right like the day before it happens, I guess we'll see how they all react to it for next time. So, hope fun time watches as I am playing this. Hope to see you next time, what time that may be. And I y'all hope you fantastic day.